What up, YouTube? Denny in Saigon. Thanks for watching my video. My name's Denny. I'm an American, but I live in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. If you're in the USA, that means I'm on the other side of the world, closer to the equator than the United States. I'm from Indiana. Most people don't know where Indiana is from, especially not in this part of the world. Indiana is in the Midwest, near Ohio and Michigan, pretty close to Chicago and the Great Lakes. Surprising to me, most people outside of the USA have never heard of the Great Lakes. The Great Lakes, the largest bodies of fresh water in the world. They're basically oceans. You can't see across them. They're huge. Let's see if I can make it through this intersection. Traffic in Ho Chi Minh City is a little risky. And riding around on a motorbike is a little risky. It's the best way to get through town. Super cheap and super efficient. And in a city like this, where there are very few places to park, you can see why a motorbike would be very handy. If you have a car, it's going to take you a while to get through the city, that's for sure. And finding parking with your car is going to be tricky. I love living in Vietnam. The weather is pretty nice most of the time. It does rain a lot here, but it's just in season. Unfortunately, that's a long season. That's a very long rainy season, but it's almost over. It'll be over for a few months, and then it'll be rainy season again. Riding around on a motorbike in the rain is not so pleasant. It probably does beat driving a car in the freezing rain back in Indiana. I'm planning to go back to Indiana in February to see my kids. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. If I'm going to abandon my life here and go back and live in the USA, or if I just want to go back and visit for a little bit and come back. I've got kids in the USA. See that little boy sleeping on his mom's lap while she's driving? Poor kid. You see whole families on motorbikes here. I miss my kids a lot. My boy, he's going to be 17 the day after Christmas. I'm feeling pretty guilty because I left him. It's not so easy in Indiana, okay? It's not an easy life. It's a pretty easy life here. I've been able to pay my support from here, and I'm catching up on my back support. I'm a little behind. I ran out of money in Cambodia, and I didn't pay my support for a little while, and then Indiana suspended my driver's license back home. So that's just one more thing I got to deal with. You cannot work in Indiana without a license. It's not gonna work out for you. It's rural and spread out. You can't ride a motorbike there, and it's cold half the year. Freezing rain and turbulent weather. It's all 4 seasons in a week and all that crap in Indiana. So first thing I'm gonna do when I go back is go to Walmart and buy some warm clothes, long unders and stuff. If I come back here and live, I can have a nice life. I can go back to teaching and pay my support. Visit my kids maybe once or twice a year. I haven't been home yet. It's because, okay, a couple things happened. I broke my arm and then I fixed my teeth. I had some debts. I've been paying off my debts and stuff. The changing jobs, it took me a minute to get stable, right? I changed jobs a few times. I went down and lived in the province for a little while, and I tried that out. Here in Ho Chi Minh City, I can have multiple employers, and I can keep my schedule pretty full. I'm up here in District 12, where there are few foreigners, and there are a lot of schools, so it's easy for me to find work. If you live in District 1 or 2, it's easy to find work too, but there's a lot of foreigners there. And on top of that, when you come to Vietnam to teach, if you do that in Saigon, they're going to send you all over the place to teach. You may live in District 1 or 2, but you're going to teach in District 8 or District 7 or District 12 or whatever. That highway is a mess right there. That's another thing you got to know if you do come here. Google is going to route you through that highway. That's where Google's going to send you. And you don't want to go that way, believe me. Google's going to send you a lot of places where you don't want to go if you try to come here and use Google. So you got to keep a close eye on it. I'm trying to decide what I want to have for lunch today. I have a few choices up here. I can have KFC or Popeye chicken. They do have Domino's pizza up here. They have Lateria, which is pretty good cheeseburgers. It's not too close though. It's kind of down a heavy traffic road. I don't want to go to it. I can get food on the side of the road all over the place. As you can see, there's some duck and different things. Gotta watch out for traffic here as I'm talking to you. I got it under control. It does seem a little dangerous, and it probably is, but I got it going on. I may have Come Tom. Come Tom is just rice and meat. They sell it right next to my hotel. I live in this hotel that's it's a big ass building. It's really cool too, man. I wish it was my building. I could do a lot with a building like this. If I run a hotel like this, I wouldn't have to teach so much maybe. Or I could probably pay the rent on the hotel with my teaching job and rent out the rooms. It's a big ass hotel, old building, and maybe 40 rooms in that thing. It's real. I don't know how many floors, 6 floors I think, so you can see across the city from the, like all these buildings you can go up on the roof, right? And do your laundry and stuff up there. Then you can see around the city. It's pretty nice actually, I like it. It's an older building, but man, you can fix it up into something cool. My girlfriend's talked about starting a coffee shop here. This is a real coffee shop culture, and they have lots of coffee shops. And they're usually pretty successful, I guess, depending on the location. See, this guy's got a machine shop going on here, and then a salon, and then a little restaurant thing, and then here's the coffee shop I love real well. Begin Coffee. It's a nice little place, and if you run a coffee shop here, it's, you know, it sells some food on the side and maybe whatever. I don't know if it's a viable business or not, but things are cheap here, so it wouldn't be expensive really to run a business here, per se. You know, I was trying to explain to my girlfriend about the 3 rules of business. If you go over to Boy Vin, that's where you would want to start a business and probably be assured of success. Yeah, I mean, your results may vary, I guess, but there's a lot of people on Boy Vin, okay? There's huge tourism traffic over there. People from all over the world. Most nights, even on a rainy night, Boy Vin can bring out a lot of people. And you start something over there, like a hostel or whatever, you could probably make a good business out of that. A restaurant. I met a guy one time who has burger joints, chains of restaurants in Saigon, and he claims he's doing very well. He probably is. His burgers was killer. The burgers were really good. And just like the USA. And I was really impressed with the burger when I had that at Relish & Sons. Because I had been in Cambodia for 6 months and couldn't find a decent cheeseburger there. Save your life. Also, maybe a business that you might think about starting here is, you know, language center. I'm a teacher. I don't really know anything about running a business per se, and I don't know that much about, you know, I'm not educated as a teacher. But I know a dude who runs a language center, and he claims to be doing real well here as well. I know learning English is a big deal here, real big deal. They're trying to make sure their kids all learn English so that they can, you know, compete in the coming world economy and all that. If you teach English here, you're kind of like a minor celebrity or something. All the kids want to talk to you. I went into Popeye Chicken last night, and there was about 20 kids in there, and they all surrounded me. Their parents are smiling, you know, in the background. They love to see their kids talk to a foreigner, communicate in English. They are spending a lot of money, really, on their English lessons for their kids. And sometimes the language centers, you know, they do the best they can, but they are, you know, They're a little disorganized sometimes. They could maybe do a better job. I don't want to criticize them because I'm an educator now, but I'm not educated as an educator. My background is technology, and my background is banking and anything I can do to make money. Really, that's what I've done all my life. Migrated to where the money's at, where I can make the most money. And I'm still behind the 8 ball, almost 50 years old. Kind of sucks. Maybe that's my problem. I don't know. It's a long story, right? My life is quite a story. Mistakes were made, and now I find myself here. But I'm not unhappy here. I'm quite happy. I don't own much, but I'm happy about that. Really, I don't really want to own much. I live a minimalist lifestyle, and I'm content with it. Just want to pay my debts, my support. Just a few other minor debts that I owe, which doesn't add up to much, but my support does add up to a little bit. Just really want to take care of that. Buy Christmas for my kids this year. Send them a little bit of money. I do send some extra money when I can. And, you got teenage kids and stuff, and kids need kids need this and that all the time. And they need more than that. Hell, I can't afford to send my boy to Harvard or nothing. He's going to go to community college, I guess. I don't know if even college is a good idea. I don't necessarily recommend it. Maybe. Okay, maybe. Maybe it's a bad idea. Maybe college is a good way to get in debt and not find a job. Pretty much of the view that college, student loans are a scam, in my opinion. Student loans are a big scam. I don't know why you would take a 18-year-old kid who's never had a day of college in his life and loan him thousands of dollars on the promise that he's going to be a doctor or a lawyer and pay it all back. Maybe he won't ever make it through college, or maybe he'll make it through college and there'll be no jobs in that field. If you maybe you realize it or you haven't, but like in my field, technology, they pumped out quite a few, 2-year technology degrees and stuff, but you can't get a job doing that, especially if you're a white guy. You're not getting a job in, it doesn't really matter if you've got a lot of certifications and a lot of degrees if you're white, because they're going to hire somebody from, around the world over you. They're going to hire somebody who's brown, or they're going to hire a woman. That's the way it is in tech. And I've seen it, even if, I'm telling you, they'll hire an Indian over an American, even if that Indian person has no degrees and no certifications. The American can have degrees and certifications and experience. They'll hire the Indian first. I promise you they will. Or at least I've seen it. Okay, I've seen it. But, it is what it is. You do what you got to do to make money, and you go where you got to go to make money, and that's what we all do. If I go back to the USA to live, which I've considered, I want to go live with my kids, but I don't know how to survive there. I don't know what the hell I'll do for money. I have freelanced in technology before. I just don't think it's not steady living. Maybe it can be if you can build up your clients, but that's a tricky thing too, especially in Indiana. A lot of small businesses in Indiana, but they don't need a lot, as far as websites and stuff goes. Technology, they outsource quite a bit of it. And I don't know, it is what it is. I'm happy teaching. I enjoy teaching quite a bit. I love kids, and I love living here, but I just miss my family so much, and I miss my kids. I have to make a big decision, whether I'm going to go back to live in the USA, or I'm just going to go visit and return. Right now, in Vietnam, I can tell you I'm making making a couple grand a month, and it's costing me nowhere near that to live. So this is a nice place, It's you can get used to that, right? You can get used to putting a little money in the bank, paying your debts. I know from experience, if I go back to the USA, I'm going to have to make $1,000 a week. In Indiana, you got to make $1,000 a week if you want to save any money after your expenses. And it's not necessarily easy to make $1,000 a week in Indiana. You got a lot of factory jobs, stuff like that, but they don't pay that well. If you want to make that kind of money, you're going to have to find something else. I used to work with the Amish, worked construction with the Amish, and it was lucrative. I made quite a bit of money. 1099. that kind of thing, you know, it's 14, 15 hours a day to make that kind of money. They like loud music in Asia. The noise is a thing in Asia. I was telling my mom about that. Maybe you realize this, maybe you don't. If you decide to come to live in Asia, they don't have noise ordinances here, and they are noisy. It's a noisy culture, noisy people. I don't know why. It's just something you got to know and get used to. I've told people before, if you go live in Lexington and, you know, District 2 with the wealthy Vietnamese, you know, live with the Westerners, it won't be very noisy. They'll be quiet and they will respect your privacy and stuff. However, if you go live with a bunch of Vietnamese in a big Vietnamese a dorm building where a bunch of students are living and stuff, you can just forget about quiet, okay? It's not going to happen. If you rent a house out in the province, you know, your neighbors, they may be quiet, but in my experience, my neighbors were not quiet. I had a house down in the province. It was only $40 a month for my house. Really cheap, you know. It was kind of like this setting here, a lot of fruit trees and stuff. It was nice. But my neighbors, they like to karaoke on Sundays all day long. And so, no peace on Sundays. But they're nice. The neighbors are real nice and stuff. People are very nice here. You got to watch out for traffic here because you see that dude? He didn't look when he come flying out of the side roads. And they don't look when they come out of the side roads. They don't look left when they turn right. They don't look right when they turn left. It's what they learned, how they learned to drive here. And I mean, if it's a truck, it could be a cement truck come out of this alley right here. He's not going to stop or look. He's just coming out. Funny thing is, when they turn in, they'll stop and look. I don't know why. When they come out, no. Yeah, it's a good place to live. It's a little different than living in the West. Takes some getting used to, but I'm used to it by now. And I'm content and happy here. They got banana trees everywhere. Anyways, my name's Denny. Thanks for watching my video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I got about 10 people a week watching my videos. It's not my business model. Anyways, thanks and have a nice day.